National Wear Red Day is February 2nd. It marks the beginning of Heart Month, when the American Heart Association encourages us all to learn how to keep our hearts healthy and fight heart disease, which is the #1 killer of adults in the U.S. Kids also experience heart disease as well. When 14-year-old Braelyn was born, she had a heart defect that left her with only half a heart. 3 major surgeries before she was 3 saved her life. She is a healthy middle school student today, and we're glad she and her mom, Tricia, are joining us to tell their story. Thank you both so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Tricia, when did you know, or when were you told that something was wrong with Braelyn's heart?
Well, I had a pretty easy pregnancy with her. I never thought anything was wrong. I had 3 ultrasounds during the pregnancy. They never saw a thing. So, what we thought was a healthy baby girl. It was about a week into being at home that I just noticed her being more lethargic. She stopped wanting to eat. So I took her to the emergency room. And at first they thought she was just jaundice. And I had a daughter that also had that. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's what we're dealing with. Especially with her not wanting to eat at all. At least when they're jaundiced, you can kind of get them awakened up, but they'll want to eat. So they just wanted to send me home and say, well, why don't you follow up with your pediatrician the next day? And I was like, no, I'm not going home with her. Something is not right. So they're like, well, we can send you to Madison. So they sent us to the American Children's Hospital in Madison. And they knew right away. They did one test on her and they said something's going on with her heart. So there was like 20 doctors and nurses on her the moment we got in the doors. And even driving up in the ambulance, you could see her breathing was labored. She was just having a really hard time getting air, and her body temperature was dropping. So it was really scary. We got there and they were great. We were put in a room. They did a test. They did an echo on her right away, and they came in and they told us this is what she has: hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And you're in shock because you had a perfectly healthy baby girl. And now you're told that she's got a very critical heart condition. So, and the main thing that they needed to do was stabilize her because her body was going into shock. And they said if you would have gone home that night, she wouldn't have been here the next day. So, listen to your mother instincts.
I was going to say that just had to be such an incredible experience for you, from 1 week going to having a child who seems perfectly healthy to a child who really needed significant intervention to survive.
Yeah. So they pretty much stabilized her there. And Children's Hospital in Milwaukee is where they do the surgeries. So they got her stabilized enough. And then we were taken by ambulance to Milwaukee. And she was there for about a week just trying to stabilize her body before she had her first surgery.
Braelyn, we're so glad that you're joining us today to help tell your story as well, because it is, after all, your story. Right now, you look like you're a perfectly healthy 14-year-old. What do you remember, or do you remember anything about the early years of your life when you had those surgeries?
I don't remember much, but I have a ton of pictures showing them stabilizing me and having all these machines attached to me.
After those surgeries, though, since the surgeries, you've been able to do anything at all, right?
For the most part. I mean, she's limited in like endurance, like a lot of sports, she's not able to do anything that could contact with her chest or, like a lot of running. She just doesn't have the oxygen reserves. I mean, she runs still pretty low with her oxygen levels. So she is limited on what she can do there. But every other aspect, I think she's just a typical 14-year-old girl.
who's looking forward to driving when she turns 16, right?
Yeah.
You've been really active, Braelyn, though, really trying to tell people about heart disease and helping people understand heart disease in children. You actually have been part of the Kids Heart Challenge since you were in kindergarten. What is the Kids Heart Challenge?
The Kids Heart Challenge is to bring awareness to kids who have heart conditions and heart diseases. And they have like activities for us to do to get our heart healthy and to exercise. And they teach us to what to eat so we can have a healthy heart.
What are some of the activities that you do to help other kids learn about heart health?
We did jump roping, we did like obstacle courses. We played a bunch of games that had like running or some kind of movement in it.
Did your friends want to know why this was something you wanted to do, and what did you tell them?
Some of them seemed very interested, but some of them wanted to learn how somebody with my condition can, because I can't do many stuff. So they wanted to learn about like what I can do and why I want to tell my story to others.
And when you tell other young people your age, your story, what is their reaction? What did they think or say?
Sometimes people don't really care, but some others can be quite interested in it and how I live a relatively normal life with this condition, even though I can have restrictions.
This year, you are actually an American Heart Association Youth Heart Ambassador. What do you do in that role?
Just kind of share things about my life and how I got to where I am now, and to teach people to eat healthy and to exercise so they get so their heart stays healthy.
And do you speak to other young people? Do you speak to adults? Who do you tell your story to, and who do you tell how to take care of their heart?
I usually tell people around my age group or adults, and um,
Like she had her video done when she was in 5th grade. She was the heart hero of the school that year. So we had a video that we made that kind of described more in kid terms of what kind of defect that she has. And they use that video as well. Mainly in our school district, we just do the Kids Heart Challenge in the K-5 grade levels. So those kids, I think it's very helpful when they have a face to what they're raising money for, because most of the time you don't always know somebody in your family that may have, a heart disease or had a congenital heart defect like she has. So I think having a face to what you're raising money for makes a greater impact. The year that she was the heart hero, they raised over $15,000 in the school, which was amazing. It's the most that they've ever raised since. So it's pretty incredible.
Braelyn, what does it mean for you when you know that people have raised that much money in part because of the way that you have told your story?
well, I'm happy because money goes to research and to better help people throughout the years.
For them to learn things, because with her defect, like 40 years ago, they didn't have the techniques that they do now to help these kids. So they didn't do anything. So she would have been, put on palliative care and then passed away. Now there's constant advancements in the research and how they treat these kids, that they're living right to their adulthood. So We just want to raise the money and keep the research going, so it's helping kids like her.
Well, we are so glad to have the opportunity to talk to both of you, and we're just so thankful for the American Heart Association and all the progress that has been made to really make sure that babies like Braelyn grow up to be strong, healthy young women like she is now. So thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any questions or want more information on the American Heart Association, which is celebrating its 100th birthday, visit heart.org. Be well, and we will see you all next week.